There will be no political gatherings allowed at polling stations tomorrow in Machakos as they go about their by-elections. 1,300 polling stations. IEBC officials say they're ready. So is our very own Sam Gituku. He's ready, standing by live in Machakos. Sam, what's the latest? Looks we're having a little audio problem with Sam. Sam, if you can hear me, we're going straight to you. If you can hear me, Sam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sam, you there? You there? Can you hear me, Sam?
Over 620,000 registered voters will be going to the polls, but what has been happening throughout the day is that the poll officials have been camping at their different tallying centers across the different constituencies. Remember, there are 8 of them, so they have been going about the business of collecting what the poll material should be. Right now, we're still at the Machakos Town tallying center, which has been a collection center, so to speak, throughout the day, where we have seen the poll officials from the 213 polling stations collecting the materials. As we speak, even as late as now, there's some polling officials who come from nearby polling stations. They're still here waiting for their means of transport so that they can proceed to their polling stations. But even as that waits to happen, what we've been able to witness is the high number of security officers who've been deployed to ensure that this exercise is safe and to ensure that there is no repeat of what was witnessed in those parts of Western Kenya. But we have prepared a report for you, and here it is. Thousands of poll officials congregated at the 8 constituency tallying centers of Machakos County to collect the poll materials. Each team waiting for its turn to pick the boxes, verify the contents, and plan to travel to their respective polling stations. Machakos County has over 620,000 voters split across 1,335 polling stations. It is here that presiding officers will count the votes each candidate gets and produce Forms 38A. They will then travel to respective constituency headquarters to submit results to constituency returning officers. Once concluded, all constituency returning officers are expected to transport all results forms to the county returning officer, who will have to verify each of the 1,335 results forms from the polling stations against the results by constituency returning officers, an extremely clerical job that may push final results to late Friday.
When they arrive in the county tallying center, there must be a group of clerks who will counter-check the entries before the entire total is transferred to Form C by the county returning officer. So in one way or another they check. It might not be very intensive, but they have to quality check.
But as voters anticipate the Thursday duty, security officers have been deployed across the county, each polling center getting at least 2 officers. And to avoid poll violence, as witnessed in recent by-elections in Western Kenya and Nakuru County, the security system has warned.
Hatutakubali vikundi vya wanasiasa katika polling centers. Mwanasiasa akiwa ni agent ama chief agent aje peke yake na atizame kwa utaratibu, sio kuzua rabsha. Kwa hivyo akiwa mmoja ama wawe wengi wakizua rabsha ni kukamatwa mara moja.
The Machakos senatorial by-election has attracted 11 candidates, including 3 independent ones. Agnes Kavindu of Wiper and UDA's Albana's Ngengele, seen as front-runners alongside John Mutua Katuku of Maendeleo Chapchap, who has since withdrawn from the race. But IEBC officials say no such communication has reached them at a time ballot papers bore his name. Katuku's decision disappointing some.
As far as our process is concerned, because ballot papers have already been printed, the person will still remain on the ballot. Then you'll find some people still vote for the candidate, and we still have to give them the scores. So in terms of the process, the commission side, there's no impact at all.
Lakini kwa wale mashambiki wake wenye walikuwa wanajiandaa kumchagua, naona kidogo hakuhisi vyema, lakini hata hivyo wajitayarishe ili tuweze kuchagua wale wengine ambao tunaona wanaweza wakatusaidia katika Machakos County.
Tulikuwa tunamtarajia awe seneta wetu na hatujui kwa nini amejiuzuru.
Kutakuwa na stiff competition kati ya wale ambao wamebakia kwa kiwanja.
Machakos County is largely perceived to be part of Wiper Party's stronghold. Recent years, however, have seen the erosion of that strength. Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua comes from the Maendeleo Chapchap. The late Senator Boniface Kabaka was from CCU, while Joyce Kamene, the woman representative, flew the Wiper flag. Out of 8 members of parliament, Wiper Party got 4, while Maendeleo Chapchap, Jubilee, CCU and Muungano each got a seat. Of the 40 ward representative seats, the perceived dominant party Wiper got 18, Maendeleo Chapchap getting 8, Jubilee and NAC parties each getting 2 seats, while 5 MCAs were elected as independent candidates. 5 other parties secured a seat each. In 2017, frontrunner Agnes Kavindu ran for the woman representative seat under the Jubilee Party, polling second with over 95,000 votes. In that year's election, the late Senator Boniface Kabaka scored 162,000 votes, beating Jackson Kala of Wiper with less than 10,000 votes. After polls closed Thursday evening, the attention will shift to the 8 tallying centres spread across the 8 constituencies and eventually to the county tallying centre, where the winner will be declared. And so it's said to be a consequential by-election for the major political parties in the region. Whichever party takes the seat will use the bragging rights to champion for political alliances ahead of next year's general election. Sam Kitoko, Citizen TV, Machakos County.
And Sam is joining us live in Machakos County. Sam, real quick, the last-minute withdrawal of the Maendeleo Chap candidate, does that affect anything for tomorrow? Would that affect the equation in any way?
Well, Jeff, of course, the voices we are hearing from the commissioners of IEBC is that obviously it doesn't have an impact. But even as that decision was reached, we've seen some of the voters there expressing their disappointment. But now, whether that will have any effect on what the poll outcome will be is a question of waiting, bearing in mind that there are different people who support any of the 11 candidates for specific reasons. But then again, you don't know what it will pan out, because for those that may have been disappointed that Mutoka Tuko has left the race, you don't know what they're going to vote. But at the same, it's a matter of wait and see, because as you heard the commissioner saying there, you will see some of the voters getting to cast their ballot for their preferred candidate, despite having withdrawn from the race, despite that being said to be solid in the day, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. Listen, why don't you go get some rest? You've got a long day tomorrow, Sam. Good luck in your coverage.